All right. Welcome. Today is Thursday, June 1st, 2017. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I'm the founder of the Circle of Grace 1 and the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And today, our Zoom program is called The Key to Life is Numerology, and I'm going to focus in on your birthday numbers and their meanings. So we have about 35, 40 minutes to go. And before I do that, let me open up with my usual sea of grace. Through divine power and by divine grace, may all who have an opportunity to watch this live right now, as well as in the archives later, or see it on my YouTube channel, may you be blessed by words and the energy that's in those words that come across to you today. May it enlighten your life. May it seed more grace and blessings to you, and may you be able to use them right away. Amen, and so shall it be, and so it is. All right, so we're going to get a little started right now, and this is all about just introducing you to numerology. Now, I've done it before in a lot of different platforms, from Blog Talk Radio to YouTube itself. You'll find some old ones there. I have about 200, about 200 videos of previous programs that I've done on Ustream and many other platforms, video streaming platforms. So it'll be an opportunity to just get a whiff of the meaning of your birth date number. That means the calendar date that you're born upon. And there are 31 numbers. Now, of course, if we were to take any of those numbers from 10 through 31, we could break them down by adding the two digits within that calendar date number, break it down into a single digit, meaning to add them. So like 3 plus 1, 3 plus 1 is 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, okay, and 1 plus 3 is 4. So you'll see that there's a series there of the 4. So each one of the single digits from 1 to 9 have their own series, an additional 2 or 3 numbers. The series for 7, the series for 8, and the series for 9 has its own root digit and 2 other numbers, where the numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, and also one other number there, 1, 2, 3, and 4 rather, they have at least 3 other numbers attached to the root digit. So you'll see that again, the 7, 8, 9 is really 3 numbers in the series. And you'll see that also with the number 5 and the number 6. And the digits 1 through 4, you'll see the root digit number, the single digit 1, 2, 3, and 4. And each one of those will have 3 more numbers within the series. So there's 2 ways in which I can do it. I can just basically open up with the numbers 1 through 9 and just say these are also connected to their series. But I also want to give a little extra input by doing the compound numbers from 10 to 31. So let's get started. You have those who are born on the 1st of any month. We have 12 months within our calendar year that we're working with. And the number 1, so whether it's January the 1st, February the 1st, March the 1st, or all the way up to December the 1st, those ones share something in common. What do they share in common is that number 1 people, most of the time, are interested in themselves and how they can improve themselves, but also they have unusually large egos. So, and this could be healthy, and for some, it may not be so healthy. But the number 1 is a surefire competitive person. They often think about, as it says, being first. So they think about themselves first. But they're also highly creative people, highly energetic, but they're more of a mental person than a physical person. So they're always thinking of different ways to get ahead or to improve their lives. Also, the nature of the 1 sometimes is to be a little on the bossy side. So they have a tendency to size people up very well, but also can tell you a great deal about the nature of the person because they're very observant. Now, if we were looking at the compound number 10, which is in the starting of that series of the one, you'll find that tens are innovative people. They always thinking ahead. They're always expanding their knowledge base, and they're also into acquiring a great deal of wisdom. Also, tens, like the number one, one is sort of like the leader of the group, but tens can be the leader or the team player. They don't have a problem being the team player. So they know how to work along with others, where the one has a little difficulty in doing that because they want everybody to listen to them, to take their directives seriously, even if they're incorrect at times, and also to listen to them. Where tens are saying, okay, I hear you and you hear me, but I don't necessarily need the attention. I don't need to be on a pedestal, but I am observant of those who are or those who love being in the spotlight. So the nature of a 10 born in any one of the 12 months is very secure in themselves. What I've noticed is individuals who are born on any of the series, the 1, the 10, the 19, or the 28th within any month, they will have a tendency eventually to be very independent of their family, very independent of their parents. They might be out on their own by the time they get 18 or 19 years of age. They probably have their own apartment or they're sharing with someone else. I also find over the years of doing numerology, approximately 43 years now, I've noticed that the people born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or the 28th, since they're out and about on their own and can be very independent, they are also blessed, if not to have both parents, they will have a surrogate mom or dad around. That surrogate mom or dad could be another elder, like an aunt or uncle that they're living with, or a grandparent, or an older sibling that they're living with. But they have this inner ability, this inner drive to really be on their own, out and about, establishing themselves within their group, age group, and amongst society. Now, the tens are very innovative people, okay, and they're not the type to give up. Ones, if they don't establish themselves, they may change their mind or they may stop what they're doing and regress a little bit, but tens move forward. If you find somebody who's born on the 19th of any of the 12 months, what you'll find with a person born on the 19th is that they are very upbeat. They're very carefree people. Now, 19s will show who they really are to you right off the bat, okay? They're not ones who shy away from allowing you to see exactly who they are. Now, also, what I also find with the number 19 person is they really, really enjoy assisting other people. 19s out of all of the series of 1, 10, 19, 28 birth date numbers, calendar date numbers, they really enjoy going out of their way assisting other people. Now, if you notice there, the 1 and the 9 produces in 19 a 10. So you already see they have all the qualifications. They have the 1 vibration, they're carrying a 9 vibration, which means they're pretty good at standing up for themselves. They're pretty good at being a warrior. They can be a pretty good competitor when it comes to amateur or professional sports. They're very good at being a leader. They're also very good at thinking ahead and like looking into their own future, if not the future of someone else. So they're good at, taking a good solid stance and being presentable. And again, innovative, but they're very much into showing you exactly who they are. So they're very much about being a truthful individual in front of other people. Now, when you look at the number 28, the 28 in that series, even though it's the highest of all the compound numbers in the series of 1 through 9, or 1 through, in the series of the ones, one of the things I've noticed about 28s is that they have either a lot of faith or a lot of trust in themselves, or it's something that they have to work on. So now, why do I say that? Because their root compound number is the 20, and 20 is a number of transformation, rebirth, and renewal. It's also a number that speaks of expanding one's awareness and consciousness as a whole, whether they're being an individual or being within a group. So 28s, they also have the number 8. 8 is Saturn, which rules Capricorn. 2 is the moon, which rules under the sign of Cancer. So here, that 28 vibration is carrying a little bit of the 1, which is a Leo, a little bit of the 10, which is a Jupiter quality, more like Sag, so they can attract a lot of people into their lives. They can have a lot of friends. People will remember something distinctly unique about them. And the 28s, they don't mind being catapulted to the front. Like the number 1, the 28 is like the extreme side of the 1. So the ones, they love the spotlight. They love being the leaders. 28 wants to be the leader, but they have to gain the experience. And then at the same time, what I've noticed over the years of studying most 28s is that they don't trust everybody. So if a 28 person is a leader and they have a big circle or a small circle, they are often making sure, or by testing, the other's loyalty. They will do that a great deal. They will test their loyalty as to them being their friend, someone they could trust, someone they could put confidential information with. So that's the 28s. Okay. Now they have that 8 sitting there for a reason, because it means they could very well lead inside corporations and large organizations. And that's where they get their strength from. So they're people oriented. You see, they have the 2 and the 8, and those are even numbers. And even numbered vibrations mean that they work best where there's a crowd. Okay, where they got to have an audience. The 19 is sort of like, I can have the audience or I don't need the audience. The 10, which is the 0 in there, zero's like the number of infinity within itself, the womb, the deepest part of one's consciousness. So 10s are not like 28s. 10s are like the 19s. They can like take it or leave it. I don't have to be the leader necessarily, but I'll get pretty close. I can work behind the scenes. 19s, they like working behind the scenes. 28s, they like being out in front. Number 1s, they like being out in front. So here, that series is a pretty strong series. And the nature of the 1 is sort of like a Leo vibration. So Leo is the center, can be outspoken. All right. They like to be the leader of the pack, so to speak. And they're very good once they get into a leadership position to hold it. Okay. So what I'm kind of saying is that a 1 is really a fixed 1. It's a fire energy number, you see. And so they need that fire in order to catapult themselves ahead in their life. Now, the next set that also has 4 numbers or 3 numbers other than its root digit is the number 2 personality. So 2s in general, just like a 1 in general, 2 is that lunar quality. Now, that lunar quality harmonizes with the solar quality of a 1. 1 having fire and 2 having water. But the 2, since it's representative of the moon, which rules for the sign of Cancer, 2 is a cardinal sign. So it has the tendency to show you its feelings. Okay, so 2 will show you how they feel. 1s will show you how they are thinking. Okay, they like to show you that they're very high up the ladder mentally. 2s will show you their level of sensitivity. They're tuning into your feelings. They allow you to get in touch a little bit with their feelings. Unless it's a Scorpio 2. Okay, a Scorpio 2 won't allow you that much of a peek into their emotional base. Okay, they'll let you see it on the surface. If it's a Taurian 2, one born May the 2nd, now they're a little more into earthiness, so they would prefer that you do feel them. If it's a March 2, they want you to definitely feel their emotions and see their emotions. If they're April the 2nd, a fire energy 2, they can either show you their emotional nature or withhold it. Okay, if they're an August 2 person, they think a little bit along like the Leo a little bit, and they'll kind of pull it in, rein it back in. And the same with the February 2nd. They'll kind of rein the energy back in a little bit. Now, 2s are also good at being diplomatic people. They're your ambassadors, okay? If you have a 2 as a business partner, it would be your best bet to let them handle the phone or let them go out into the field, okay? They work excellent in the field because they see everybody like being of the same family, the same tribe. So they have this ability to connect. But every now and then, 2s can get to themselves. They don't like to be too much out there in the field. In other words, they'll go work the 9 to 5, 10 to 6, but it's time when, it's time to get to the end of the day to say, okay, the day's over, now I can go home. I can go home and chill out with my family, with my friends, or just be alone to myself. So 2s also are very good with details. So, and I find that many of them can be very good in the kitchen. They like cooking. They like being the host and hostess at small parties or large parties. 2s are also artistic and poetic. They enjoy colors. They really love pastel shades, where number one, people will take on some pastel shades, but they like some bright things as well. Okay, that's necessary for them. Bright colors are very important for 1s because, they can be seen. 2s, I can be seen, but I can be laid back. It's a little better for them. Now, also, since I said they enjoy details, they're very good at facts and figures. They can make good CPAs. They also can be excellent teachers, okay, because they're making sure everybody's on the same page. Now, that's something that's very unique with the number 2. So if you know a number 2 person, you will know them to be detailed oriented. They will want to understand that everybody's in agreement on the same page. Now, if the person is born in that higher register of the 11s, the 20s, and the 29s, the 11s are very, very astute when it comes to having dreams and visions, coming to them. They're also uniquely connected to spiritual and mystical type things. The 11 also can carry forth like a Leo vibration. You see the double 1s in there. And so 11 is a master number. And in the calendar, there's only 2 master numbers, the 11 and the 22. So 11s are very astute individuals. They'll observe everything that's going around. They often don't offer their view or opinion on anything until all the facts are in. Okay, so even if they have something to say about somebody, you might find the nature of 11 investigating it a little further before they say anything. 11s are not interested in being embarrassed when they don't have all of the figures, all of the data in. Okay, so that's something you need to know about 11s. They're not going to let you know how they exactly feel until they have everything in a nutshell, that they understand every possible facet. Now, if you're someone who's born on the 20th, like I said, the 20th is something that has to deal with transformation. 20s are the changers in life. Okay, if they're working with a group and it's moving slow, you can turn to the 20. The 20 is the person that will take it to the next level. The 20 is the person that not only takes it to the next level, but they're very good at telling you what you need and what you don't need. Okay, in other words, the 20 will tell you to lighten your load or get your load heavier. They can tell you one way or the other. All right. They are also into taking on a challenge, but making the challenge softer so that everybody can get something out of it. So again, like the 2, the 20s can be the team player. Now they will carry the team up to a point. 20s will carry, if they're in a relationship, they will carry the relationship up to a point. But then if they don't see you doing your part, and so what they'll do, they'll kind of resign or sit back a little bit. But they'll be in the relationship. They'll just kind of pull back a little bit. Now, if it's a 29 person, the 29 has that 9 in there. So it would be to your advantage not to poke them, not to get them riled up, because they can lash out at you. And what they usually lash out at you with is your weaknesses. So like the 20, the 29s observe everything that's going on and how people are. They look at your likes and your dislikes. They look at your weaknesses and your strengths. and they will tear up your weaknesses. So don't poke at 29s if you're in a relationship with them. Try to understand that they are listening to you, even though they may not give you the appearance that they are, but they are listening to everything that you say. Now, also, what is very unique with the 29 is that sometimes, not like the 28 may not trust everybody. The 29s are the exact opposite. They trust too much and then often leave themselves out of the mix. So 29s have to strike a balance like 28s need to strike the balance. 28 needs to trust more, trust others around them that are in their lives, and trust themselves. And 29 needs to pull back on the trust. Have the faith there, but don't trust everybody. Now, so that means they should be more like a detective. Really look at who's in their circle. All right. Now, the 29 carries that vibration like the 11. Okay. They can see people well. They can see further down the track what's going on. They can get that aerial shot view to kind of know where things are going. And they can transform. In other words, they can change. They can adapt themselves according to their situations. Now, if you're looking at people who are born on the number 3 within any calendar month, and especially 3, 12, 21, and 30. So what you need to know about number 3s is this. 3s love life. They love variety. They don't like being bored. So it's important for number 3, if you're a parent that has a child that's born on the 3rd, make sure there's a lot of books for them to read, a lot of different experiences for them to have, because they have a tendency to kind of either procrastinate or be lazy or just don't have any interest. Okay. Now, where does their interest go? The nature of 3's interest goes into something that is interesting personally for them. So if you got a child that's into comics or into comedy, then you need to get in that head with them, and see where they're headed. 3s can be very talkative. They're conscientious too. They're very principle oriented, very ethical. So 3s, if you have a 3 child in your household, and if they notice that they're getting the short end of the stick, they can be very articulate. Now, either they will state the principle to you, they will state what they see, or to get your attention, they may cook up something, which means they might tell a lie to get what they want, okay, out of you, the parent. So it would be to your advantage to show them ethics right away. That's highly important. Show them ethics right away. Let them know that you love them. 3s need to be able to receive love, so they need to see it demonstrated to them. 2s don't care too much about that, but they like to see that others are noticing them. And 1s, either you could hug them or not hug them. They don't care one way or the other. They just care that you allow them to take charge. See, so here's a hint. If you have children in your family, or a mate or a partner or a friend that's born on an odd number, a number that adds to an odd number, 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, okay, you got to realize that those people are the take it or leave it individuals. You can't pressure them to do anything, okay? But you can work along with them, but you can't pressure them, all right? So you have to kind of understand that they do have feelings, even though they may not always show it. But the ones who will show the feelings will be the 1s, the 3s, the 5s will show it. The 7s will kind of hold it back a little bit. The 9s will show it almost dramatically at times. Okay. So now that depends when it adds up to the root digit. But when it's compound numbers, there's some other things that are in there. So here we are looking at the 3s. If you have a person, business partner, mate, or employee or boss that's born on the 12th, what you have to understand is they like the stage. They will put themselves on a stage. They will put themselves on a pedestal. Remember I said about a number 1 person. 1s like the spotlight. 3s like the spotlight. 3s are creative. They're creative with the written word and the spoken word. So they can be a research person in science or medicine. They can be a mathematician. They can work well in computer technology, things of that nature, or they like to make people laugh. So threes are your storytellers. You have to. They like to learn stories and they like to tell a story. Threes could take a prank and will give out a prank. They will have somebody joke on them. They'll joke on you. So threes can be witty. Threes have expansion. They're like the Jupiter personality of in numerology. They can take on a lot of stuff and they can free up a lot of energy. Okay, they like excitement. They like variety. That's important. So if you needed to buy a birthday gift for a three, you have to find out they like to be, they like comedy. They like anything that makes them laugh, anything that lifts their spirit, anything that keeps them motivated. Okay, anything that inspires them. So you've got to get books, you got to get movies, you got to get songs. Okay, you got to take them to concerts. Okay, you got to get them out there where they can mix and mingle with people. That's the three nature, and that's the same goes for 12. 12 doesn't have a problem taking the platform. Now, if it's add 9 on to that 12, you got a 21 personality. 21 personality is a Jupiter quality, but I find like a Saturn, Capricorn personality. So they can be out there on the stage, but they'll read the musicians, they'll read the actors and actresses, they'll read the stage hands, they'll read people in the audience. What I mean by that is they're tuning into everybody and they know how to play the music or play the role so that they get the proper attention. 21s are very good at that. Very, very good at showing you how to connect the dots. 21s connect the dots well. They pay attention to wisdom that they get on their own and knowledge and understanding, but they also can pay attention to the elders that are around them at the same time. You'll find this with a person born on the sign Aquarius, January the 21st, they do it well. Someone born July the 21st, or better yet, August the 21st, getting ready to leave that sign of Leo. They have a lot of information that they can share with anybody. The Scorpio on the cusp going into Sag, having that 21 there in November, they kind of show that. They demonstrate that. Same with people born on October 21st, getting ready to step out of Libra and go into Scorpio. So you'll notice that they have this kind of energy there. That 21 is very unique. Now, if the person is born on the 30th, how can we look at those who are born on the 30th? Well, the individual born on the 30th, they like to reflect on life's issues. They will reflect on the nature of business. They will reflect on the nature of, how life is and what they can do to change it. Now, they are very close to the number 31, okay? The 30 will take it on, study it out, get a little bit more scientific with the approach, and then they'll run out the door and show you what they've learned from just all that thinking. Where the 31, part of the 4, the 31 will go, I don't want to run out there right now. I need more time to analyze what I think I might have. And even if I think or feel that I have all the right information, I'm going to give you a little bit and I'm going to keep some back. Where 3 will share. 3 has toys, they will share their toys. 4 has toys and will sometimes show you the more simpler toy and keep the more complex. If they like more simple things, then they'll keep things that are simple and give away the complex things. So we might as well jump into the 4. But know that a 30 likes to think things over pretty deeply and then go out and share what they've learned. All right, 21, they will share. 12s will share. 3s, they can talk. 3s are loquacious people. Okay, they got a lot of information, a lot of energy. Now, if you're coming up with the number 4, 4s are very unique. 4s are the kind of people that if you're trying to get a yes out of them, propose your question like you're trying to get a no. Then you can get them to say yes. If you're trying to get a no out of them, then propose it as if you'll get the yes. So you always got to give them the opposite. I hope I said that right. So if you're seeking a no out of a 4, you got to act like, it's a yes. All right. If you're seeking a yes out of a number 4, then you've got to act like, the answer is no. Then they'll give you the right answer. Now, fours can be highly organized people or live in total chaos. If they're living in total chaos, their phrase is, there's a method to my madness. That's the phrase of a number four. There's a method to my madness. I know where everything is, but you don't see where everything is. Now, they're not trying to hide things from you. It's just that they got a lot of things going on inside their head. Fours got a lot of things going on. They could be planning a shopping list. They could be planning an international trip. They could be planning a new business, or they already got a business going on. They're just trying to figure out how to clean it up and take it to the next level. Fours make great engineers, great designers, high-tech people, and I-tech people. They're very inventive. What I've noticed with four people, if you have a four person in your house, and especially if you're a parent and you have a four child or you're a mate to a number four, don't yell at them. They might make you yell at them, but don't get into a thing where you got to have a shouting match. Why? Because the nature of four is they're not listening to anything that you're saying at that moment. They are listening in a different way. What they're listening to is how they could take what you just said and kind of turn the tables and kind of use it against you. So you got to be careful what you say to a number four person. If you say something that's wounding to them, the four will act like they're not wounded, but will show it by trying to rip you apart later with things that you promised that you didn't fulfill, or things that you took on that you should never have taken on that caused some chaos for them. So you have to be careful when you're dealing with the four. Four is sort of like your Uranus quality, which is more like an Aquarian. See, so they are already thinking outside the box. You're thinking about how to maintain everything in the box. They're already thinking beyond the box. All right. So fours, though, are very unique. Fours do have a love for home life, but they make the home cozy. Fours are like, it's a well lived in house. Now, two will let you see their house that is well lived in, but it has an order, a distinctive order. Ones will show that there's order there. Threes will show that there's order there. But fours will show, yeah, if I show you order here, you know, three quarters in the house showing order, everything in the right place, there is one room in the house that's look like a bomb hit it. Okay, that's all right. It's there that they feel great comfort. Why? Because they know where everything is. To you, you may not know where everything is, but they know where everything is. They're good at graphic design work. They can draw quite well, which means they're good at math and science. They understand formulas. They really grasp the formula, and they see the visual of the formula at the same time. Now, what about a person who's born on the 13th? 13 is a little bit Scorpio number, so they might be a little bit more secretive than the norm, but they are very much in the game of life with you. Okay, so 13s are powerhouse people. No matter where they are in the zodiac, they don't have any fear about doing anything. 13s are really cool people. They're into trying to make a change on the spot. So they share that. The 13 shares that in common with the number 5 person. If they see a change coming up, they prepare themselves for the change. Where number single digit 4 can see the change come up forever and may not even prepare themselves. So what you'll see around the nature of a single digit 4 person at any point within the calendar system is that they'll wait to the last minute to make a change. Well, the 13 says, okay, I can see the weather's been pretty bad here, it's been pretty hot, or I can see my company's getting ready to go downhill. So I'm going to make some preparations to get off this particular ship and be in something brand new. The 22s have that unique quality. 22, like an 11, the 11 is the dreamer and the visionary, master number, birthday number, and the 22 is the one who not only sees the dream, not only captures the vision, but they will make it concrete. They will find a way to pull that thing out of the sky. If it was a kite in the air, they will reel it in, take a look at it, and put it in motion on the ground right away. So 22s are like the 11s. They're a master number and they see great horizons ahead of them. Even if they're in a field that's not going anywhere, they will find ways to exhaust every part of it before they step away from it. Now, the 22 has the double twos, like the 11 has the double 11s. So 22 people understand everything you need to know about a partnership. They understand how partnerships work, right? Two is all about the highest plateau of a partnership and the lowest plateau of a partnership, or the ideal, inspirational, aspirational partnership, and how to make it work in the material world, on the physical plane. So 22s are very, very good at that. They're also, if they're a child in your home, 22, they can live with mom and dad or live with an older sibling or be out on their own. They don't care. 22s know that each part of their life is there for a reason and they'll get the best out of each. Now, if it's, again, I already mentioned like the 31s. 31s, they're like take it or leave it, but you'll find them constantly analyzing something over and over. Now they're not really worriers. 31s aren't worriers. They just want to make sure that they understand the foundation, they understand the intermediate levels and the advanced levels. They also want to understand that they know where they're at all times and how things appear or how they feel to them. So 31s take a little longer time to put something in motion. But once they get it in motion, it stays in motion and they mapped it out so it'll last a long period of time. They also know the cycles of things. So if they know, okay, I'm in a business that I started 6 years ago, and the next 3 years I'm going to make it this, but they've also figured out with some parachutes in there, just in case something goes wrong in the next 3 years, which means they're now at their ninth year, they're ready to sell it or abandon it or break it down and put it on out on another level. So 31s are very good at that. Then now you have the fives. Now here you go with people born on the number that has the 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. They have two other numbers in their series. So this is something that you want to be aware of. But I see that I've got to speed up here a little bit. All right, now fives. Fives are travelers and communicators. They're very inquisitive people like number threes. They need the spice of life just like a number 3 person. So what you'll find with a number 5 is curiosity, and high adventure. Fives love speed, anything that moves fast. So you would see them 9 times out of 10 on a jet plane going somewhere. You would see them maybe at a racetrack or they got a fast car. Okay, fives love speed. That also means when your number 5 child is in a classroom, they're hoping that the teacher can speed it up. Don't bore them to death with facts. Why? Because the 5 is good at getting the facts themselves and then telling you all about them and then telling you their view about them at the same time. So 5s can adapt. They're the middle number from 1 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side of the 5 is 6, 7, 8, 9 for the digits. So 5 can adapt. 5 is the only one that gets along with everybody, just about. Maybe have a little difficulty with an 8 and maybe a little difficulty with a 9. But more than likely, they get along with everybody. They're kind of neutral to a 1 and neutral to a 6, but they harmonize with 2s. They can pretty much get along with 3s and 4s, okay, and 7s, especially 2s and 7s. They love, and 4s are sort of like them. Okay, now 4s do something abruptly that upsets everybody. 5 gives you a couple of warnings before they upset the apple cart. Now, if it's a 14 person, 14 uses balance and moderation wherever they go. And they're well known too. 5s, they're your comedians, they're your leaders, they're your spokespersons, they're your writers. They're into business. The 14 is into a lot of business concepts. 14 knows how to be the messenger and also the teacher at the same time and your best pal all at the same time. And if necessary, will be your best competitor too. Now, 14s can see the big picture, which takes us to the 23s. The 23s have two distinctive qualities about themselves. Either when they're going through life and it's difficult, they have to survive. So they might be the one who lives a day-to-day life, okay? But the high side of the 23 is a thriver. So 23s, they love a challenge. You put them in a position where something is difficult and they will figure out the puzzle piece. They will get all the pegs, square pegs in the square holes, round pegs in the round holes. 23s are good at that. 23s are true communicators, and they know how to get the information to the right people. They know how to set up the stage just right. 23s are unique. If you got a 23 in your life as a son or daughter or a mate, cherish them because they will thrive and their life will improve no matter where they're at. Now, the sixes or five, I would say, is like Mercury, okay? Speed. Got to get the job done. Now, sixes, 6, 15, and 24. Now, what you're going to find with the 6, 15, and 24, 6 and the 24 are one and the same. 6 is a mothering quality, okay? 24 is that mothering parental quality. 6 likes to be the caretaker and to give care where needed. 24s do the same. 6 are the teachers and parents. 24s are the same, but they like to tell you more so what you can do and what you can't do. 6 is either this or that, but 24 shows some gray areas in there. Now, the 15s are very unique. 15s are kind of Capricorn oriented. 6 is Venus. So 6 loves a nice place, nice threads. They can have the luxurious clothes, or they can go to the thrift store and find the best thing that's there and turn it into something, and it looks like a gold mine. 6, 15, and 24 can do that. The nature of the 15, though, is I change my mind too often. So if you have a 15 as a mate, a 15 as a friend, a close friend, or a 15 as a business partner, get used to the fact that they will change their mind often. That means they'll tell you, let's go out to this concert or this festive activity next week. And while you're getting ready to go to it, then you get a phone call and let's go do something else. Because they already made up their mind, they just didn't include you in the decision. Well, 6 will include you in the decision. 24 will include you into the decision. But other people won't do that necessarily. So that's important. All right. Now, also what we have to look at here, and I think I'm overextending my time, what we have here is the nature of the 7. And in the 7 nature, if there's someone calling in, you need to hang up. This is a live show going on. I need you to hang up. This is a live show going on. Thank you. All right. Now, when you're dealing with this avenue of expression with the number 7, 7s have the nature here of showing a lot of positiveness, but they're more into mysteries and mysticism. They're into occult things, positive occult things. A most positive 7 is what they would call the white magic, okay? But if it's a negative 7, they go into the black, quote, quote, black magic, which is more mind control stuff, okay? Or they're depressed all the time, or they have a lot of anxiety that's going on, or it's an individual that's has a lot of mood swings. So you have to watch that with the nature of 7. 7s can have mood swings, but they're very spiritual, very grounded spiritual at times, but also they can be flighty, or sometimes they're just not here. So when you're talking to a number 7, it's like their physical body is present. They're talking to you, their physical body is present, but at the same time, they're kind of like observing everything that's going on around themselves. That's the 7. Now, if it's a 16, which is a Mars, now 7 is Neptune, which rules Pisces. Okay, so they can get into the mysteries and the fantasies and so forth. The nature of the 7 is to make sure they're not fading. But if they're born on the 16th, the 16th has a 9 vibration. You don't see the 9 in it, but 16 is Mars. So 16 has to watch out for triangular love affairs. 16s have to watch out for having a bad temper. Their temper can flare up and be off the hook, and then they're not controlling it. 16, though, has to really pay attention to the gift of intuition. The gift of intuition will take them far in their lives. So 16s can be spiritual writers, creative writers, or artistic writers like the 7. 7 enjoys a chess game, enjoys mysteries, thriller type of movies, things that can scare you, things that can make you laugh. They can go from one extreme to the next. The 7 shares something with the 4 and the 8. This 4, 7, and 8 is the old trilogy, the old soul trilogy. So if you're married to a number 7 or a 16 or a 25th person, they're very mature for their age. And sometimes they can be quite eccentric, which they kind of share with the number 8, 17, and a 26. That means they like old antique things. They like this. And if they acquire wealth, they hold on to the wealth, or they share that wealth with the world. That's what the 7s will do. They will share their wealth with the world as if, I don't need the money, the world needs the money, I just need to make the money to take care of the world, so to speak, to see that others are well. 16s follow the flash of intuition. Very, very good, very unique. Now, they're very intense if they're born in May. May 16th, Taurus, intense 16. Scorpio 16, intense 16. I'll give you an example. A person born November the 16th who wore his jersey number 16th was Doc Gooden, born November 16th, 1961 or 62. He played for the New York Mets. 61 and 62, the Mets New York baseball team was having a lousy season, but all the kids that were born during that time that came on board later to play, they took them to greater heights. Okay, in 1986, Doc Gooden had a good year. Best baseball pitcher ever happened. Okay, but had a lot of problems going on. So 16 are powerhouse people, and they have to watch who their friends are. And the nature of 16 or 7, 16, and 25 is stay clear of drugs and alcohol. If you got to do some social drinking, do it. If you want to smoke a little weed, I can't tell you what to do, but you got to watch out for addictions, plateau, no matter where you are, any business, any genre of life. 7, 16, and 25, you got to watch drugs, you got to deal with addictions, you got to watch out for codependency kind of relationships, you got to watch out for triangular situations that you could fall into, and find out that your life is like falling apart. So 16s are intense. February the 16th person is a very intense person. Okay, Scorpio is very intense. A Leo 16 is very intense. And a Taurian 16, May 16th, is very intense. Now, if you're born on the 25th, what is the nature of the number 25? The nature of the number 25 is you're the truth seeker. Once you find the truth, you make it your own. That doesn't mean you embellish it. It just means that you acquire and are able to attract a lot of truth into your life. Highly important for you. Now, this is good for you to realize. That means no one can lie to you. So if you're born on the 25th, a person can create a lie. You'll know when they're lying and when they're not. You'll know when they're withholding the truth from you and when they're not. That's one of the natures of the 25. Why? Because 5 is there. Quick thinker, quick at communicating, quick at getting information, quick at delivering information. Okay, mine is agile. Then is the 20 there. Transformation, rebirth, renewal, regeneration. So you can't fool a person born on the 25th of any of the 12 calendar months. You can't fool them. Now you got the number 8. 8, like the 7 and the 4, are the old soul numbers. 8s make money, though. 8s are very good at making money. The one that's known the most, if not born on the 8th, is those who are born on the 17th. They are well known. I mean, something can happen to them in their life, in their career. Their career as an actor, comedian can go downhill. Years later, they're not even in the industry. People will remember their best movie, their best song, their best piece of artwork. They'll remember. 17s are good at attracting to them all kind of friends. So 17 is sort of like an Aquarius. 17 kind of knows where they're going. Life can pick them up again, and they can go full steam ahead. The only thing with the number 17 that's an 8 is they have a tendency to get depressed too quick about stuff, and they have the tendency to go backwards. Or they will reach out and be the best and then fall out of nowhere, have a fall. Now they have to rebuild themselves. A typical 17 was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was born February the 17th. Rose his career up high after some struggles, brought it up high. And what almost blew his career? Gambling. Gambling almost blew his career, knocked it out of the water. Then he turned it around and floated back to the top. Sort of like the dragon and the phoenix theory. So 17s are very good. They can be well-known people. Sagittarian 17s are ideal. Sagittarians, people know them the first time to see them. Now, they're born on the 17th. They always will remember them. People born on the series of 8, 17, and 26. If you have a very difficult life as a child, or various romances that don't work out, various marriages that don't work out, had so many jobs they didn't work out, if you can hang in there between ages 31 and 35, right around in there, your life changes. I've seen it all the time. Life changes and everything gets better for those who are born on the 8th, 17th, and 26th. It just denotes that you'll have some difficulties the first 26 years, 31 years of your life, but if you're hanging in, stay focused between age 26 and 31. Right after that, your life turns and it gets even better for you. So here's the thing for number 8s, like 7s and like 4s. Be careful of who's in your circles. Who do you have in your social circle? Be very, very careful. If you got people in there that agitate your circle, people in there that have a tendency to want to make your life a living hell, get rid of it. That's all you have to do is get rid of those people. Don't wean them out of your life, actually cut them off, or you'll find yourself going downhill. 8, 17, and 26, you love antiques, just like the number 7s. You can wear the old style clothes or the new style clothes. You like to have things of value, just like a number 6 person. You love value, okay? But you like retro stuff too, okay? There's something unique that 4, 7, and 8s do. I can tell you right now, 4, 7, and 8s, they love shoes. They love shirts. If they're women, they love certain blouses and certain dresses and certain styles of jewelry or hats. Okay, they like a nice crown on their head, as they call it in that series, because the 26 has this ability to understand value. 8s understand values, 17s understand values, but 26, they're the treasures of values. They understand your skill sets that you have. They understand how creative you are. They understand if you're a good thinker. So 8, 17s, and 26, you can run a business inside out. You're very, very good at it. If you ran for politics and government, you make an excellent senator because you understand how it all works. The last number, 9, 18, 27. 9s are the fighters. 9s will fight for the underdog. 8s will fight for the underdog too, but 9 will like be the shield, the armor, and the sword and the helmet. Okay. 9s you don't pick a fight with. 9s will finish the fight. Don't pick the fight with the 9. 9 is like a hornet, a wasp in a nest. Don't poke at the nest because you're not going to like what comes out of the nest of bees. They come out with a real sharp stinger. Okay. 9 though also represents beginnings and endings. Now 9 is Mars that rules Aries and Scorpio. So an Arian 9 sometimes might talk a little too much. A Scorpio 9 will tell you what they want you to know and keep the rest back to themselves. So they're a little smarter on that end. Okay, they're not going to tell you everything. A Scorpio 9 is not going to tell you everything about themselves. Born on October the 27th or born on November the 9th, they are not going to tell you anything about themselves. You're going to have to play like the dentist and pull it out of them, or the detective and find what you need to find. You might have to look up some things. You might have to talk to their family members. You might have to talk to their friends. Okay, that's the nature of that Scorpio 9. The Aries 9, they will tell you. You don't have to go behind their back looking for information. They will tell you. Okay, 9s, if they're, let's say, under Taurus, if they're the 18th of May or the 9th of May, they will display a lot of diplomacy, but they have a lot of fire there that goes along. So they're not a quiet 9, even though it's earthy 9. Okay, but it's a fixed 9, so it means that they're very strong people emotionally, mentally, and physically. So it's good to have them in your circle, okay, because they're there to act as the backbone. Okay, if the 9 person is in a water sign like Pisces and the other one, which is Cancer, then the 9 is a little softer, but it's a very strong 9, but yet a little softer. If it's an 18-9, it's more of a lunar or Piscean in March, there's a tendency that they're more emotional than you can imagine. But if they're in a July form, they're emotional, but they're clear about their feelings, more so clear about the feelings than those who come under the sign of Cancer, born June the 27th. So here, this power that you're going to see there with the 9s. 9s like a challenge, but the challenge is really doesn't have anything to do with other people. They're just competitive, and they're usually most competitive with themselves. So they're always seeking to do the best that they can do and even better. Okay, so you'll find that with a 9, 18, and the 27. 27s, though, they're very psychic and they're very intuitive. 2 is psychic, 7 is the intuitive nature. Okay, and they're very good feelers, and also can be some of the greatest healers on the planet. 9 are spokespeople. They go out and talk for others. They fight for a good cause that's very important to nines. The cause must be important, okay? And it's for others rather than for themselves. Nines also reach for the impossible and pick up all the possibilities. So they're very courageous people. They're good at being a pioneer when necessary, and they go forward and they leap forward. That's the great thing about nines. They can leap forward. Nine people, if they're born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th, more than likely they have more than one skill. That's also equally important that you'll see with the nature of the number 9. So we've covered everybody really fast. I'm beyond my time. I'm not supposed to be on for this long, but hey, I enjoy putting the information out, and we'll come do it again. I'll maybe talk about destiny numbers. I think last time I talked about personal year numbers. Yeah, your personal year numbers. So maybe another time we'll talk about the destiny of numbers 1 through 9. We'll do that next Thursday. Thank you for enjoying this and seeing this later. If you have the chance to do so, thank you so much for your time. I'll be back next Thursday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 Pacific, for another program of Live with myself, Circle Grace 1, with me, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. Look forward to my book coming out in August called Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace, beautiful paperback book. Also look forward to my Blog Talk Radio show that I do every Wednesday at 5 p.m. for about 30 minutes Mountain Time. Also, the 3rd or 4th week in July, I'm coming out with another Blog Talk Radio show. It'll be called Decree and It Shall Be. So there'll be 2 Blog Talk Radio shows going on during the week. My grace is your grace. As Akhenaten says, our grace is your grace. And as I always say, through the angel of grace, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance. See you next week. Email me at iam.circlegrace1@gmail.com or iam.circlegrace1@yahoo.com, or give me a call on my Skype number, 505-349-4722. Grace seeds are good for you. Take care now.